you join me with a box that we have seen before. This is the Deepcool frame case that we previously used in the AMD Phenom 6-core build. Today, however, I'm going to build a Core 2 Duo using this cooler that we still have left lying around from one of the NCR machines and various other bits and bobs lying around. This is not going to be a clean and easy build, so the main purpose of this video is to actually just highlight some of my fails, because I seem to do quite a few of that. So the case is still nice and tidy inside. I bought this motherboard because I am a sucker for good deals. Not that I would say it was a good deal buying something this old in this day and age, but also before I bought this board, I bought a new motherboard with an AMD FX running at 2.8 GHz, also a quad core, so this would make a nice comparison. So taking off the retention bracket, and then we are going to mount this cooler. What could possibly go wrong? So yeah, benchmarking this on World Community Grid, the FX didn't even come close. Heat paste. The trick here is only to apply a small amount, or a bit more, or even more. Let me just throw it all over the show. So, as in previous videos, like true professionals, we're just using Carlton Roll to wipe this off, because, I mean, that's what professionals do. Right, now just to screw this into place and we are set. Finally, just plug in the fan. Okay, it doesn't reach. You know, this is something I could have figured out beforehand, but what the hell. Let's unscrew this thing. Or, wait, no, let's leave it in place and just flip the fan around. Yeah. Oh yeah, wait, no, can't do that because we can't unscrew the fan because the retention screws are in place. Yeah, let's just take it out. This is a nice compact Cooler Master cooler with those copper heat pipes, so it runs nice and quiet despite the size. Just flip it 180 degrees and screw it back in. Wow, that heat paste really did make a huge blob, but meh, the cooler can compensate for that. More is better, I guess. And here we are again, screwing it in for the I don't know how many time. Simple tasks, complicated by a moron. Nice and snug fit. The display options on this board is not too bad. This is how not to screw in a motherboard. So after some amount of screwing, I realized that I need a finer thread screw in the hole. Now I'm just gonna thumble it into submission, and so we have our first screw in. The next technique is called chase the screw with your magnetic tip screwdriver in, and then what? Oh yeah, so this is the finer threaded screw, and it turns out in this hole we need the rougher threaded one, and you can't unscrew it, so all you do is just lift up the board from the case, wiggle it around if you need to, and then just put the screw back in on. Now for part 2, chasing the screw around with your magnetic tip screwdriver. Well, hey, it works, so screw it. This is only 2 screws, this board takes 9. But let's assume they all went fine. Now plugging in some front panel connectors, and for some reason the video is flipped, recorded like a noob. But yeah, I think that's very apt considering the skills involved with this build. USB connectors, and also that lovely card reader, because this is the Deepcool frame. SSD install, what could possibly go wrong? So now I can play it like a musical instrument because only the one side is fixed. This is the cheapest power supply available. I think I paid about just over 200 Rand for this, and that's where we're going to put it. Let's do a ungracious unboxing. It's got numbers, it's got stickers, it's got a nice picture and a white fan. Wow, comes with a power cord and a power supply. Hey, what more do you want? This is going to make for a nice little cable management disaster, but at the price, that's what you get. And in she goes. Connecting it to the motherboard. You know it's connected well when the board flexes all the way and touches the case. We'll just stuff all that up there. Put in 2 gigs of RAM to 1 GB modules that we stole from the Xeon server. And let's do our first boot. And it works. The fans do run very loud. Even the 12cm one in the power supply was louder than expected. But I think they need a lot of cooling because I don't want that thing to pop. Turns out this was a Proline machine in its previous life, and it miraculously remembered the time. I managed to quiet down the fans to an acceptable level, and Windows 10 was already loaded on the SSD, so thank goodness for that. So after a couple of months from AliExpress, 10 2GB DDR2 800 modules arrived. This will be a final upgrade to this machine, maxing it out, as these DDR2 boards are not able to take more than 8GB. So let's just take out the old RAM very carefully. Okay, that's one way of doing it. Didn't even have to put that on the floor, it just fell to it. It's efficiency for you. Let's get these suckers in there. With 8 gigs of RAM, this machine really went very well, and it was matching the 8 gigs in the FX machine, which will be featuring in an upcoming video, so check that out. I'll do some more comparisons there. That's my attempt at cable management. And it more or less works. Let's just check CPU Z if the RAM is, yeah, cool. DDR2 800 dual channel, all 8 gigabytes. So that's this build. I sold it earlier this week, and obviously I made a loss because everything here is a loss, but it was fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed me screwing around literally and chasing screws with screwdrivers. So yeah, until the next video, ciao and goodbye Deep Cool Case.